To the listener, are we getting questions on like the election right now? Like what's the feedback coming in on that? Or is it still how tall are you? That sort of thing.
We've got a healthy mix.
All right.
The first one, do you have any plans to go to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring?
Oh,
do you think there will be any retribution against the late night hosts?
Oh, that probably some, maybe some in subtle form, some maybe more explicit. I'm not going down there right now. Obviously, my membership to the club is pending. I assume they're going to call my references.
Yes.
And they'll look into things, and then I'll.
Yeah, of course.
I've gotten a call. I have to return.
That's exactly right. I tell them I happen to be someone who is very adept at chandelier polishing. that might be Joe and Mika going down there might be one of my favorite when they had to come out and go. And so we did. Like they spent the year going, this man will destroy all that you hold dear. He is a Hitler Mussolini cocktail mix. And we must all say, literally 1 week later, they're like, so we go, we have lunch, a light lunch. I get the watercress salad. And Joey, he loves shrimp fra diavolo. So and the Mar-a-Lago shrimp fra diavolo is delicious. I thought that was one of the more remarkable, but it shows the performative nature of so much of all of this shit, which is, again, when you talk about credibility, like,
well, specifically in terms of news, they probably want some access because that's where their money comes from.
I don't even know if it's access as much as like, you're the king and we serve at the like, please hold me in graces so that I too am allowed, I don't know.
Well, they got a whole morning out of it, though.
Yeah, that is true. that is true. And they live nearby, so maybe it's
convenient.
Maybe it's literally just, you know what? We just decided to be neighborly. It was a welcome wagon.
You have to get lunch somewhere.
Don't let politics get into the way of friendship.
Yeah. But listen, man, these guys are not shy about like there will be retribution for people, and so I'm just going to take them at their word. I assume that something.
We've got your back.
Thank you. That's the full force of the United States government is coming back down on me, and you guys will be like, "Hey, man, we're good." That's lovely. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. JFK's cabinet was nicknamed the best and the brightest. So far, what would Trump's cabinet be called?
Wow, the best and the brightest had good alliteration, so I think we're going to have to find alliteration in that. In some respects, right now I think they'd be called like these motherfuckers over here, but like I don't know, like it really is like he's like who'd you bring? I brought these motherfuckers over here.
Maybe like grab bag gang or something. They feel so random.
It does, but what's interesting about it is I almost think the cabinet is secondary to the posse. Like, did you guys watch any of? He went to UFC. Did you see the walkout?
Yeah.
Like, that's the walkout. Like, that's the cabinet.
Mm.
That's it. The cabinet is like, we come out to music. It's like they're getting ready for a prize fight. And they come out to the music and they all come and it's quite glamorous. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, but a lovely question.
What Trump cabinet appointee would you feel most comfortable inviting to Thanksgiving dinner?
My home? To invite them to my home?
Yeah.
Do you have one that you would bring? I'm trying to think of.
Well, how close do you live to an elementary school? Is a good question.
Alleged, Jillian. Alleged. How dare you? Oh, the legal letters that are flowing. You're never going to get on Jeopardy with that kind of attitude, lady.
They're never going to let me on the show.
Yeah, I would, you try and think like, I'm trying to think about our Thanksgiving. And it is like, we usually have about 20, 25 people over at the house. I stay in the kitchen because I do a lot of the cooking and it keeps me from having to talk to anybody. So it's, who would I like my family to have to deal with?
Oh my God.
You could really offer some contrast and make you look great.
How much do you like your family?
You know what? I'd like to. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Hegzeth. I think Hegzeth. I'd like to bring in
Oh,
because
Okay.
I think the older folks that are
That's
there
bold.
would just be like, "Who is this handsome gentleman?"
Yes.
Yeah, you want to go. You want to go hard edge. You don't want to go like Linda McMahon. You're like, you want to make a splash.
Mhm.
You want to fuck Thanksgiving up. That's what it's about. Shake this shit up. What else we got, Brittany?
All right. On Thanksgiving, how do I handle my mother's constructive criticisms about everything? Career, relationships, looks.
Let me tell you something. This is Brittany.
I didn't write this in, just so you know.
The Thanksgiving criticism is right up my alley. My mother, God bless her. You know, it's really actually one of the one most difficult things about aging is to watch someone slowly lose their ability to criticize you. Where
Devastating.
they just don't seem as interesting. It's devastating.
Are you nostalgic?
Here's the story. So my mother she's 91,
Wow.
91
God
years old,
bless.
and still like
Wow.
completely
Good genes.
phenomenally smart. She gets pneumonia right around this time last year, right around Christmas, she gets pneumonia. So they admit her to the hospital. She's there for 5-6 days. And I go to get her to pick her up to take her home after 6 days in the hospital. She's still like, pneumonia knocks you on your ass.
Yeah.
She's lying in the hospital bed, tube of oxygen in her nose, the IV in her arm, quiet. Doot, doot, doot. I come in. Mom, it's time to go home. Mom. She opens her eyes slowly from the bed, looks at me and goes, "You look tired." I'm like, what?
She still got it.
Zing.
Yeah, I was just like, you're going to be okay. But that, like, you have to make a game of it. Like, you
Yeah.
just have to enjoy it. All right, let me do one more and then we'll move on.
This one's good.
All right.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dinner side dish or dessert? What are you chefing up, John?
Well, let me tell you something. I wish I could be like, I make a compote that you guys wouldn't believe. Like, it's straight up like fucking mashed potatoes, like all the classics. The craziest I'll get is like sweet potato pie.
The good
You
shit.
know, and
Yeah.
get that nice marshmallow in there. But there is nothing in there that you would not have eaten on Thanksgiving in 1952. Like, I have made no advancements. I have made no innovation. Like, as crazy as it gets, is like, what if that apple crumb pie had a caramel drizzle on it? And people be like,
Well, that's something.
the only thing that we do sometimes, so we have a lot of celiac in our family.
Mm.
So we'll make stuffing that's like gluten-free, or, you know, that's the only thing, like a gluten-free pumpkin pie, a gluten-free apple pie, like, but it is all straight up traditional football game, heavy food, ton of gravy, like
Sleepy times.
sleepy times. That's it.